Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Recap, a Guys Review. Happy Friday everybody, good to see you. My voice is a little sore today from yesterday's 5-hour, 45-minute live stream, along with 3 other hours of content. So lots to talk about this week, so much going on, a lot of good things to talk about, a lot of bad things to talk about, and we're going to sort of sift through it all. As you guys see from the title, this video is about the Rachael Kirkconnell mother, administrator of a hateful Facebook group. Let's dive right into it. So as we know, Rachel's mom has been, direct phone line, straight to the sun. That's their news source for kind of communicating to people, since they have known for the last few months that Rachael was, under an NDA and can't talk. So this article was just from last month, an exclusive interview that Rachel's mom did. So this is Rachel's mom, just to have some context for what we're talking about. And let's read this story and let's discuss it. So if you don't mind, hit the like button. It's good for the YouTube algorithm, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this all. So this all broke yesterday while I was in my 5-hour live stream, so I wasn't able to look it all up and kind of talk about it. But we'll read the what happened. Rachel's response. We have screen grabs from her. I'm pretty sure it's all been validated. Anything can be sort of fabricated, but I'm pretty sure that we know that this is all actual, evidence of what went down. Rachel's mom was administrator to a Facebook group that racially attacked Matt. Now, these are going to be important words here, because I'm not by any means going to be defending Rachel's mom, but words have power, and let's discuss this. Racially attacked. Obviously, we live in a time where we absolutely need to cut these things out of society. If Rachel is doing the work, if Rachael understands what she did in the past is problematic, she would not want this Facebook group to exist. Bottom line. Imagine finding out your mom's maybe trying to defend you, but in doing so is throwing your lover under the bus. I mean, you don't need to they don't need to be attached to each other. You can defend your daughter, who she is as a person. You can support your daughter and not throw her lover, or the person she loves, at least, that she's working things out with, under the bus. As we know, Matt James has left the window open, or the door open, whatever they're saying, the window open to the relationship, saying she's going to do the work. I'm going to let her do that while I'm away from her, and we'll see if we can make this work, or if we can't. Obviously, Matt's gotten a ton of hate. We've posted yesterday, Rachael posted like a sort of cease and desist style Instagram story that said, "Stop hating on Matt." So let's get into this. I have screenshots to prove a bunch of Karens made a Facebook group. And by the way, I know I do feel bad for Karens. I really do. There are plenty of good Karens. My sister is named Karen, but I understand the terminology we're using. A bunch of hateful women made a Facebook group thread that was called "We Support Rachael," and it was filled with racism and people saying mean stuff about Matt. Rachel's mom was an admin to the group. She allowed these things to be said about Matt. Instagram account posted the info, and Rachael did a DM saying she didn't know her mom was in the group and admin. Now take my YouTube channel. Sometimes someone will post something as a comment, and I won't even ever see it, and it doesn't mean I condone those comments. Now this group has like 34 people, so if you're an administrator of a group with 34 people, you can delete comments if something hateful comes out. You can very much contain this burn versus like a wildfire. When a video goes viral, there's different comment threads, and you can't block people fast enough. Talk to my moderator, Oz. You can't block people fast enough, live on the fly. But in a group like this, you should very much expect the moderator to be able to do their job of creating an environment that doesn't attack somebody, dox somebody, whatever the case may be. So the person said, "Glad Matt dodged a bullet. Imagine if he stayed with that family." And this is a good point here, because everyone looked at Matt James after the final rose ceremony and looked at him and said, "How can you not be with the one who loves you and work through things?" Well, Matt James might have known that Rachel's mom doesn't get it, that it's not hitting her. Rachael Kirkconnell can have an enlightened moment. She's been publicly shamed. She can understand how to evolve from that, but it doesn't mean her mom or other people that come from a place that has such an exoskeleton of their own viewpoint. It can be hard the longer you're in a certain mindset to release yourself from that mindset. You're building these calluses, and it's really hard to break through that scar tissue, if you will. So I'm not, and by all means, don't get it twisted here, because people will get it twisted. I'm not saying Rachel's mom is in the right in any way. I'm just saying if Rachel's evolving, it doesn't mean her mom is. We live in a generation where there's a lot of collective change happening to the way we think about things, the way we have discussions. And a lot of times our parents, they came from a generation where if you read something on the news, that was true because you read it on the news and they said it, so it must be true. And that news site has an eagle on it and a thumbs up with an American flag, so it's got to be true, right? And our generation's kind of like, all right, who paid for this article? We're going to Snopes.com. We're looking at things. So it's no wonder that Rachel's mom, chooses The Sun as her main media platform to talk through, because that's, of course, about as credible as my channel is, right? Don't get your news from me. This is an opinion channel. I don't pretend to, whatever. All right, so let's go through it here. So here's the screen grabs I have. I'm going to read them for the first time with you guys. I'm going to obviously trigger warning if there's anything hateful or whatever. I don't believe there's any. We'll see what this has to say here. Rachael Kirkconnell's mom was an admin of a Facebook group. We got that already, so let's read it. Rachel KT, a bunch of Karens. We don't have access to the actual screen grabs, just these photos of the screen grabs, which means I'm going to, enlarge them as best as possible. The quality is really bad. 427 members. So 427 people, probably Rachel K's moms and aunts and friends, whatever. Again, Rachel said she didn't know this existed. And you kind of have to believe Rachael Kirkconnell not knowing that this was out there, because she has been trying to learn from her past. So why would you want this out there? I think we can operate from a place of knowing that she didn't believe this was here. I'd be happy to change my opinion if any information comes out. That's what you do. You change your opinion with new information. It's crazy. You flip-flop. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. You learn, you move, you grow. #grow. I grew yesterday. Susan Rich sent me 2 pepperoni pizzas for the live stream. Oh my gosh. I literally have swollen knuckles this morning. Is this what happens in your 30s? You get swollen knuckles after you eat a slice of pizza? I had the whole pizza. This man needs help. So these are the comments they left about Matt. And again, it's been called a racial attack. That's the words everyone's using. Everyone's sharing that the mom's administrator of a racist group hate against Matt. So we have to understand, is that the case, or is it otherwise just a hate group towards Matt? This man needs help, probably needs medication. He can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. Many of us didn't know that it was considered racist, and I still don't, to be honest. I mean, people can say it is, but I still see it as just what was fashionable during that era, and that was just a sorority party. So it's people that are defending the fact that they didn't know the antebellum South was racist. Yes, Matt is coward, wouldn't talk to her face to face. He took the easy way out. He really hurt Rachel K very bad. She's not missing nothing. He's not a real man. Matt James, you are a coward, selfish idiot who used the show for his purpose. She started compiling screenshots, and our friend is followed by Bachelor Nation all over the world, not just USA. Anywho, she put a huge post out calling out Rachel and saying how disgusting it is that her mom is an admin, and Rachel messaged her, told her she had no idea, and told her mom she didn't want to do. So the account, sorry guys, if this sounds like I'm all over the place. And people in the comment section have said, where is the racism? So far, it's just hate. Her mom is really dense if she thinks she's helping her daughter by doing this. There's a post defending Rachel's actions, but where's the images of the posts are the racist comments towards Matt James? So again, folks, plenty of people are saying, look, we know this is wrong, but we need to be very specific with how we deal with this. So was Rachel's mom administrator to a group that shared racist stuff about Matt James? Or was she administered to a group that was hateful towards Matt James because of the way he treated Rachael Kirkconnell's daughter? I don't mean to, and again, be super redundant here, but this is in no way saying the group is right. But I think we have to be honest and critically think here. Are these racial attacks? Am I the person to speak on this? Probably not. Probably not, because someone else might see this in a way that I don't, and I appreciate your comments and continuing the discussion to know if I am missing something here. Some other comments. Yeah. So there's a bunch. So, did people comment on this? No, there's no response to that comment. So we'll figure this out, guys. We'll talk some more about this. Rachel's response. So this was brought to Rachel's attention. Rachel said, "Hi there. I just talked to my mom about this and asked her to remove herself from the group, and I'm trying to get it deleted. I didn't even know this was a group. Please know that I cannot control my family's actions, and I do not condone any hate towards Matt at all. I love Matt, and I respect his decision to not be with me after all that has happened. I know that what I did was wrong, but I'm trying to do better and will keep trying. You can call me performative. I understand that, but I will continue to use my platform to speak on these topics regardless. You nor anyone else has to support me or forgive me, and I understand that completely. I'm sorry if I hurt you with my past actions, and I will never stop trying to do better. Thank you for bringing this group to my attention. I'm just as repulsed as you are." Repulsed. Rachael Kirkconnell is repulsed by the group her mom is an administrator of. She asked for it to be deleted. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't delete the group because look what they did here. Okay, are these different? Okay, there might be different screen grabs, so I'd be happy to completely change my opinion on this. Okay, there's Kim Kirkconnell, Rachel's mom. She's an administrator along with others. It doesn't mean she created the group, but she's got administrator powers to the group. And of course, this is what's crazy. They changed the group to We Love Dogs. Now it says there's 43 members. This is where it's confusing. We support Rachael Kirkconnell, 427 members. Is this the same group? You know what I mean? This is where it gets. Did they delete as many people as they could? I don't understand, guys. I don't know. I'm not questioning that the screen grabs are real. I'm just a little confused here, folks. I might be an old guy here, just a little confused. So the man needs help. The one who has work to do is Matt. He's 29 or 30 by now and still blaming his parents' relationship for his inability to have one. Get a therapist, dude. Do some hard work and move past it. Don't project everything onto Rachel. She's just fine. I agree. She is so better off without him. She is so soft-hearted and kind. She deserves a man that will treat her in the same manner. He was a jerk. These comments are again, I've been covering this story for months now. I've read dozens of thousands of comments. These comments are no different than what the sample size, and this is anecdotal because I'm not bringing you stats. I'm not Bachelor data over here. But these comments seem to be running parallel to the amount of comments that Bachelor Nation's giving. These seem to be about as accurate as everyone else. And not to say that all Bachelor Nation feels this way, but call it 50%. Call it, it's probably the same divide as the political divide, to be honest. It's a very similar way of thinking. People fall into one way of thinking. People fall into another way of thinking. So I don't think it would be crazy to think that maybe 50% of Bachelor Nation feels like Matt James was a bad bachelor and he treated Rachel wrong in the way that he conducted himself and after the final rose. And then the other 50% probably feel like, well, it's a real messy situation and we can understand that Matt James doesn't owe her anything. There's a good screen grab here. This is from the Bachelorettes. Which they've had an amazing growth on their channel. They're really speaking great truth and really adding new insight to the way that the way that people can look at these issues. Matt James is not required to spend a relationship or his lifetime educating his white partners on the burden of being black in America. The Bachelorettes, it is not his job, it is not his duty, nor his obligation. He doesn't owe Rachel his willingness to try, and there's nothing wrong in naming his need for a partner that has a base understanding of how racism and white supremacy affects his black life in 2021. Full stop. He might be like, I love this woman enough that I'm willing to deal with her mom not getting it and we'll just keep fighting and working past it. He might want to do that, and he might want to say, you know what? Our kids are going to be biracial, and they're not going to have a grandmother who gets it. The kids, it's not just about Rachel, it's about the family. And if they don't get it, does he really want to put that effort in when he's trying to figure out so many different things himself? You know what I mean? It's like I said, the analogy, it's like when you're in a plane and the air, thing comes down, you got to take care of yourself before you can give air to the other person. oxygen. You know what I'm talking about, guys? And it's kind of that way with Matt. Like, he needs to take care of himself. He can't be educating Rachael and Rachel's mom and know that whenever he goes to a barbecue on 4th of July with Rachael, that everyone's going to be looking, and he's going to know that this group of people was trying to hate on him. It's very messy, folks. And this is so unfortunate. So there's Rachel's screen grab, repulsed. I mean, can you get a stronger word than that? You can tell by the wording that she's owning up to all of her actions. She's not condoning it. I think she's saying all the right things she needs to say. And as I'm reading this, I'm going, oh my gosh, she can't get out of, she's like, it's almost like she's fallen off the boat and you just want to throw her a life raft, but instead her mom's just throwing her a cinder block. You know what I mean? Golly. And here's what you can do. You can understand how hurt Matt is, and you can still feel bad for Rachael Kirkconnell. Even if her actions were the domino that started this, you can still feel bad for her. You know, people have accused me of attacking Matt, and you can send me screen grabs if you feel like I did. I'm man enough to own up to what I say, and if I did attack Matt, or maybe the comments section was after the final rose, I'll look into that for sure. But I've seen Matt as a guy who has tried his best to please people. I've seen him as a guy who probably doesn't understand these serious relationships, and the way he dismissed Michelle was not good. He didn't have the words to talk to Rachael, but I also understand maybe he did have those words, but he knew how damaging they would be. A lot of people have said maybe Matt James hasn't wanted to be the puppet for this diversity campaign that the Bachelor producers are doing. Maybe he's sick and tired of being the guy they roll out, who's going to be the guy that says, well, we had a black guy. He's sick and tired of being the Bachelor's black friend. I'm not saying this is true, but when you see his silence on the after the final rose, you don't know what that is. But some people that want to look at Rachael Kirkconnell as someone they can relate to go, oh, he didn't give her the time of day. Well, maybe he did. Maybe the time of day was not saying the truths that he knew. And I've said this before about Matt James calling her to break up with her. The initial thought there is, geez, you probably don't want to call someone to break up with them. But what's the alternative? The only way he could see Rachael Kirkconnell when it came to meeting up while they were in the safe zone, when it wasn't announced who was who, you know what I mean? They set these up at safe houses. So they do a safe house visit, and I'm pretty sure The Bachelor films it. So look at Ari. Remember when Ari broke up with Becca? He did it on camera after they had gotten engaged. They did it in this whole set up, coerced way. Maybe Matt James didn't want to do that. Maybe the phone call was the more ethical way to do it in this scenario. The truth is, you don't know, I don't know. We've never been through this. We don't understand all the hate that Matt's getting. There's this page I won't read. I'm actually not going to read the comments because I am trying to talk about finding the love and the higher energy way out of this. But here's a Reddit post. I'm getting hundreds of DMs meant for Matt. I have a fan page. People think I'm Matt. This is a glimpse of the racist, hateful, ignorant things people are messaging him. In addition to spamming his post, it's heartbreaking. And it's just one after another. It's just one post after another. I'm sure Matt at this point doesn't even check his DMs. I mean, I hope he doesn't. It's like whoever has your cell phone, close friends, close group. I think Matt's trying his best. I think he's been put in a situation that no mortal man could succeed in because the whole way this all went down. I think we're gonna look back at this and understand that he wasn't done that he wasn't done justice, that he wasn't given a true opportunity to find love with all the other BS that was swirling around it. So we'll have to see, guys. Leave a comment. Please keep it supportive and understand this, because I do want to make sure, rather than making a super short video where I get my point out, I don't mind spending the extra 1 or 2 minutes or 5 to have my points heard. I think the Facebook group that Rachael Kirkconnell's mom was an administrator of is wrong. It's a place that's going to breed negativity towards, it's one thing to say, what? They were just creating a Facebook page where they were supporting their daughter. In creating that platform, you're giving a place for people to not just support your daughter, but hate on somebody else. And they don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can support your daughter, but do it in ways that that raise her up. Do it in ways that, support social justice, because this guy didn't do anything wrong. He's been put into a situation that is just immensely challenging because he can't win no matter what he does. So when you're in a situation where you can't win, sometimes it feels like silence might be the only answer. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Keep it positive. Call your moms. Tell her you love them. Do something free. Smile to the barista at Starbucks. I know with the mask on, it's hard. Smile. You gotta smile up here when you got the mask on. It's really hard to smile. So just do your best, guys. This is a time now more than ever that we need to lead with love and kind of cancel hate. All right? Cancel culture needs to cancel out hate. All right, guys, leave a comment. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye now.